hitting one down grain, I can fly that ridge and stop it, versus hitting one into the grain where that's not an option. If you've got 10 people down here and said throw the ball to that hole, everyone's going to probably pretty much land it on the top, around there.
It's bunker play really. It's getting you set up in the right place and then just understanding what you're actually trying to do, isn't it? Right, just been in for a coffee with Steve. Going to meet him again in a minute. This is Camberwell Park. They've got, I think they've just built another golf course. So they've got 5 lots of 9 and a 9-hole par 3 course, driving range, and the most amazing short game facility you've ever seen, which we're going to go down and see in a minute. So yeah, it's a really cool place. Yeah, just a quick shout out to Abel as well before we see Steve. It's the golf clothing that I've been wearing for the last 3-4 months. Great range, really liking this stuff. So if you want to check out the range, the link is in the description. All the stuff that I'll be wearing today, all Abel golf apparel, and you can use James 10 as well. Get a cheeky little 10% off. Whack this thing on, shall we? Right then.
Back in action.
How long has it been since you've been on the channel?
Spain, I think.
Really?
A little trip to Spain.
What, when we were dressing up in those dodgy outfits?
Yeah, put me off that.
That was the last time. That was the last thing you'd do.
As a chav. Well, not a lot's changed, to be fair.
What's going on, Steve?
Not much. Started doing a bit of coaching, not playing too much. Bit of social golf.
Yeah.
And, enjoying doing a bit of coaching and getting involved with the club.
So how long did you play Sunshine Tour for?
Like 11 years, 12 years,
Yeah.
I think.
And you played quite a few like of the co-sanctioned DP World Tour events and bits and pieces, haven't you?
Yeah. I don't know, about 25 or something
Yeah.
over the years.
So no, I was just saying how much experience you had and
Old.
the golf.
That's all I heard. Old.
The golf knowledge is, yeah, your golf IQ is up there. I know you don't big yourself up, but I'm going to big you up for you. So yeah, I think that's just going to come out today naturally through the videos. So I think the viewers are in for an absolute treat, mate.
Yeah, it should be a bit of fun.
They're going to learn.
Hopefully.
And have a bit of a laugh as well. Right, what should we start with?
I don't mind. Start with a bit of chipping and work our way out.
Yeah.
A bit of a loosen up.
Yeah, it's not going to loosen me up. Yeah, to be fair, my chipping has got, well, it can have got worse, but it's definitely got better. Feeling a bit more confident with it.
Good. Well, you've got all the facilities to use here, so.
I mean, this is amazing, isn't it? The short game facility at Camberwell. This is, it's just wild, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it doesn't. I don't think I've been anywhere that's got a better facility, to be fair.
Like, the green itself is humongous. All of the contouring, bunkers.
Yeah, you got three bunkers, but 2 of them are massive. You've got 2 grass tees back there with a Huxley mat, 2 grass tees over there with a Huxley, and then grass tee down there, and loads of humps and hollows. It's sort of split into 3 sections, so you can, if it's quiet, you can hit, say, from one corner all the way down to the other. It's about 100 yards.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if you go down
that's
from
really
that
cool.
tee, say to this back flag, it's about 95, 100 yards.
Right.
And
we're gonna start with just little
like
chips.
back at Leopard Creek.
Yeah.
You've been doing stuff with Liam, haven't you?
Start seeing Liam for some long game stuff, and that's been going really well. Short game wise, we've sort of we spent about 5 minutes just going over a few things, but not really. We didn't really get into that.
Yeah.
So any technique bits and pieces we can do today as well for short game.
Okay.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
My bunker play also, if you can get me moving in the right direction with my bunker play, it's honestly so bad at the moment. Right, so just as always.
Yeah. So if we use that tree in the background for the knobble on your cap, it's like a little bit of lean towards it, which is good.
Yeah.
But then it's almost...
It backs up.
Right, I'm going to not really move forward. And then say, even that little move at the end, the ball's long gone, but that would be, I'm encouraging this ball to get up in the air.
Yeah.
I would try and feel, I like the backswing when you move towards it, but I just feel that sternum keeps moving forward and forward and forward, especially with your pattern where everything's been short.
Yeah.
So, well, moving forward is going to be encouraging a bit more ball speed and a bit more aggression without having to put aggression into the club head.
Yeah.
If I kept seeing that motion, it's like I'm probably not going to be getting the ball to the flag. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'd feel a little bit of that as setup, left shoulder a little bit lower, a bit more on top of it where you almost feel, right, this is going to come out a bit pinchy and a bit quicker, because you've hit 12 shots there and 2 have got past the flag, whereas you'd want 6 and 6 for it to meet in the middle.
So a bit more stacking and keep moving forward.
Yeah, and I just feel, right, doesn't mean you've got to turn left, but I just feel, right, I want that sternum getting over my left ankle. I don't want to be even at the end, because on that video that happened at the end.
Yeah.
But when you're a bit nervy in a comp, if that happens a little bit early, you're going to bottom out early, fat it, worry about that, catch a few thin, and then you almost feel, right, I want to hit down on it more. That's when you're going to start pushing the hands further forward, getting the club face more open, and then you end up with a bit of a mix match of recipes.
And that just makes it worse, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The more hand you get forward, the more lean it's gonna encourage, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fine when you're trying to play it back-footed or like out of a divot or something.
Yeah.
But it's trying to find.
But not when you're trying to play a high soft one.
Yeah, it's being aware. If it's back in the stance, hands are forward, club's going to get stuck. That's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
So feel left shoulder really low. Play the ball a bit. Is that middle ball position for you? Or?
This has been middle.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll play this shot of this merit. Say pitching it halfway as a.
So there.
That's it.
And then keep it moving forward.
Okay. So right. Let's not feel that hip go, because I'd say that was. We move forward and everything moved forward. I would get a stick. So we put that where your left hip would be.
Yeah.
And then it's almost the hip stays there, but that sternum when we go through covers it more than everything sliding.
Yeah.
Because the further your hips go forward, right, the further back my sternum's going to be, the more we're going to increase. Say early on when you're hitting those short chips and they're a bit poppy.
Yeah.
Whereas I almost feel a bit of hips back, sternum in front. You can move a bit closer so that stick's not so far in your way. Just try and get that stick on your hip joint. That's it.
There. Like there.
Yep. That's better.
And that kind of feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Different flight, isn't it? Just hit it a bit harder.
Yep. Add a bit of swing length.
Wow. That flight is just.
So that's
So
a bit exaggerated.
different,
Still
isn't
filming
it?
there.
Yeah, that's cool. If you can move it around this way a bit. Yeah, that
Miles better with
yeah.
everything moving forward, covering the ball.
Yeah.
So you never get that chest on top of the ball.
No.
When you're chipping, you're
Always backing up.
under, trying to get it up in the air, tilting back,
And then-
like you would do in a long, like a tee shot. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Well,
and
it's
then
fine.
as a result, the hands get really draggy.
Yeah.
The club goes back
And then
and dumped under, and
duff it off of there. A short finesse high chip. It's like loads of loft to like, shit, I haven't got much loft.
Yeah.
Generally your miss is going to come out quick and hot. Too far past, then you try and rectify that by taking the speed off, and then you dunch a few at the Sebi and stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas you want to be almost, right, I can just add in more speed because I'm creating more loft.
yeah,
Does that make sense?
yeah,
That kind of thing.
Yeah, so don't be afraid to feel the arms a little bit more connected to the body. That's better.
Oh,
That was
wow.
better.
Wow. That feels really nice.
Like that had way more pinch and speed.
Yeah. Well, it feels like the club's being controlled by my body, by the big muscles.
Yeah.
Do that.
Like you ever
my
done that
arms.
James Ridyard thing, like the T-Rex thing,
No.
where he draws the elbows back
Oh yeah.
and they're like short arms.
Well, and then just control it by.
Yeah. So it's all basically chest turn.
crazy, isn't it?
You want to be hitting down on all these, but you don't want to be. There's no point in forcibly hitting down. You want to change stuff to make the club do what you want it to do. So it's a nice soft arms. It's better. Hit a few to that right hand one. So say here, pitch it on the knoll about halfway. So we're not going for high and soft.
Not going a high one, so just pretty much same trajectory type.
Yeah. That was lovely.
Right, so we're going to get the quad. Is it the quad? It is a quad. Yeah. We're going to get the quad out now and get some actual numbers. This is where, I mean, for short game, this thing's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. No, you can do even just a ball flight. You mean get loads of club data, but it's so interesting seeing what you can perform consistently. There's no point in launching one at 30 with 6,000 spin if then your next window's launching it at 40 with 1,000 spin.
Yeah.
You're better off living in a bit like earlier when we discussed that higher one. I'm like, if you miss-hit a higher launching soft landing shot compared to absolutely ripping one, that's fine because they're going to land in the same little pool.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're going from bullet low fizzy, but if I don't play this shot very well, it's going to launch super high, fly half the way, land soft, not run anywhere, then your window's massive.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I've never thought about that with a short game, to be fair. But that's massive, isn't it? Because if you could just get a couple...
When you then get into picking shots.
We just get a couple... So essentially you just get a couple key shots that you play with. Like you got your standard or your fizzy or your high one.
Yeah.
And then you can get them all predictably doing similar things.
Yeah, there's a reason why... Yeah, but if you've got 10 people down here and said throw the ball to that hole, everyone's going to probably pretty much land it on the top, around there. No one's going to try and put spin on it. Everyone's going to naturally select the same window.
Yeah, I'm going to get cricket on it, do overspins. And
no, whereas when we get a golf club, it's like we try and do... Whereas I was just picturing, if I was going to throw it, where would I land it? Right, what club and shot gets the closest to what I would see with my eye if I was going to throw the ball?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's like, because then you're trying to create the biggest... If I was going to throw it in a waste paper bin, the circle would get the biggest if I threw it vertical, but then my distance control would get the worst.
Yeah.
But then also I'd know if I throw it bullet low, the landing angle to hit that thing is so small.
You'd find
you would always find a balance of
biggest margin,
giving me the biggest margin for error, both in line and accuracy. That shot was mint, that last one. That was 34,200 spin.
Yeah.
But if the next one's 40 and 1,200, it's like, right, it's learning the shots that you can repeat and then reading a little bit of how the lie. That's why I said earlier, go down grain. That's going to drag the flight down and pop the spin up a bit.
Yeah.
Is that a fraction higher? 31. Is that just lacked a bit of speed?
Spin, I think, just lacked.
But by using that, you can see why it's dropped down.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because you could produce the same clubhead speed as the first one, but launch it at 37.
Yeah.
And your recipes, I didn't hit it hard enough. Whereas no, you didn't present the right loft. Was that 32?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a
32.37 spin.
I would say most standard chip shots, that's around, that's like a nice window where you get a nice blend of a bit of height and a bit of spin.
Yeah.
When they start going up 34s or down into the 27s, 28s.
Sort of anomalies, hard to predict. Right, so tilts.
Good.
Oh, mate, the strike
It was
is just
same, must be about the same
That's
window.
spinny, 30 and
30,
4,
yeah.
5.
Let's go on, see how many you can live at.
between 30 and
Yeah,
32.
30, 32, above 3.7 spin, say.
Like the setup.
Yep, let's bet a lot more on top of it.
Tiny
But
bit,
pay attention to, say strike wasn't quite as good there,
tiny bit thin.
but then look how,
I mean, 30 32.
You want the numbers to stay. You want to be able to hit it crap and produce similar numbers.
Yeah, 32, 3/4 spin. Ball speed is just a bit lower because I've just not struck it. It's nice.
Arms connected to the body.
Yeah.
That was lovely.
31, 4/3.
But now I'd say, right, if you go over onto this into the grain bit, what would you expect to happen? Don't know if you can see the grain on the camera, the stripes. If you were picking a shot, what do you think would happen?
Well, there's probably. I mean, if it's. What, as in what's going to happen to the numbers?
Yeah, because that's going to correlate to what happens.
Yeah, for an average lie into, well, it's not going to be as clean a strike. Probably maybe a bit of turf interaction.
Yeah, but I would say there you were comfortably getting. Your miss hit was 32. You got a couple down at under 30. Spin was quite high.
Yeah.
I think if you hit 7 balls here,
the miss hit's going to be a lot
you'll
worse,
probably creep up into a 36, 37.
Right.
Just like in terms of being aware of when picking shots on the course. I'm going to guess that's up at about 34 or something. 36, yeah.
31. So it's just poppy straight away.
But that's where it's like, right, is that technique or is that me not reading the lie? Because if you tried to land both those shots in the same place, it's not going to happen. You'd have to be, this might be more of a 54 to produce the same flight as what you did off the down grain bit.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So how would you play the shot?
Well, that's where I'd probably into the grain. I'm going to go longer, higher, softer. I know it's not going to spin.
Right, so here, like there, yeah?
Yeah, so we'd be looking for the launch to go up here.
Still trying to keep that sturdy.
Yeah, you can still feel, but less club face pointing right, more do it with the handle.
There, yeah?
Yeah, long and slow.
Yeah.
That was good.
Cool.
What was that, up at 43, yeah. But that's where, because I wouldn't play the same shot off of, even though you're only a yard apart.
Yeah.
You're not going to get that one. You could drag the flight down, the first one, to 27 if you want, because the spin's just going to match the two. Whereas here, if you're trying to hit a low one off here, it's just going to come out high poppy, land halfway. If you land it near the flag, it's going to run off the other side.
Okay.
So if you get your 54, or the new 54, just from a club choice point of view, I think if you play a stock chip into the grain, you'll probably replicate back to the low 30s, 3.7, 4,000 spin.
Okay.
Granted, you've never hit a shot with this club.
Alright, so same lie, same type of feel, yeah?
Yeah, so picture you're playing the same shot as you did on the first ones, landing it on that knoll 15 feet short. What was the
28,
28?
3/8 spin.
Okay, smidge less speed. Okay. But I'd say this is more of an exercise in learning, right, when to change club to just produce the same shot.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, 28.
28, 3.5.
And the ball speed's now similar to what
So I'd say like there you can match that standard chip up a lot more easier by going down in loft, or you go to the higher softer one. You almost wouldn't play a standard lob wedge shot off of that bit of into the grain.
Yeah. This is now like quite a minging into grain lie. Sat down in it. Oh,
that was lovely.
Yeah.
What was that, 28?
Mate, this strike is
but it's trying to live.
Yeah.
If you go to lob wedge, you're going to go from 32s up to 37s quite quickly.
Yeah.
It's putting in, whether it's ingredients or technique or just club choice of, right, that's going to add height, let's take the height out via club choice or technique. Yeah, that was 33.
Yeah, just a bit poppier,
but it's a learning when it's not going to happen every time. But right, that's more likely to pop than that. Whereas if you're just chipping both the same and expecting the same outcome, you're going to think your short game's crap when you're just not reading the lie very well.
Yeah,
and it's not particularly grainy when you, as we said, when you get out to South Africa, and it's huge differences of super low launch, super low spin to this one's now, and as the shots get longer, we'll hit some over into that. Well, we'll go down here in a minute once he's gone. But like if you think on a short shot, the difference of 3 degrees looks quite a lot. As that ball flies further, it looks bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
So on your pitch shots, there's a huge difference. Hitting one down grain, I can fly that ridge and stop it, versus hitting one into the grain where that's not an option. I need to change club, change flight for that to happen.
Alright, so we've just gone through a bit more stuff. We're going to recap it now, get in, get some food, and then come out and tackle bunker play. But if we could just, if you could just explain sort of like the bits we were, well, the bits.
You're right.
Right, left, right, Steve?
Yeah, perfect, mate, yeah. Yeah, you're a bit, I'd say, strong with the left hand, it's not a problem. But you have quite a wide stance, like a power ingredient. Hips forward, shoulders back, which in pitching and chipping would be almost like a power loss. If I was going to try and get the biggest bang for my buck, if I went miles too far that way, well, I didn't swing that club very hard for that ball to go a long way.
Yeah.
We're trying to soften the stance, get the hips, heels a bit closer together, trying to get the feeling where, say, my zipper and my flies match up.
Yeah.
Trying not to. Sometimes we get the hips too far forward, and then when we try and line it up, we get everything too far left.
Yeah, so
a
meeting
little bit
in the
of
middle.
Hips back, sternum on top, getting everything nicely stacked on top of each other.
Yep.
And then going through, bit of arm connection. That's right, trying to finish with my sternum over my left heel, almost replicating that straight line, as opposed to leading it all with the lower body and finishing where everything's leaning back, almost an effort to get the ball up in the air.
Honestly, the difference is like.
Yeah, because I say we went back to the very start when you hit those 10 chips and they were all short. That all comes from a bit of lack of ball speed.
Yeah.
Which comes from a bit of setup.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like.
Almost drivey.
Drivey.
But that can lead to poppy shots in the short game because you don't have the same dynamic moves.
Yeah. Right, so feet together.
Club face square.
Bit of upper body.
That's it.
Turn. Face square. Keep the arms connected, and keep that upper body moving forward.
Much better.
Covering, yeah. And I could probably even do a bit more.
Yeah, it's like as long as we're not feeling like we just try and swing really hard left.
So it's going like that way.
That's it.
It's not going.
Yeah, we're not trying to just drag it round the corner. There's a little bit of being aware of the lies, isn't it? With
and that was the other thing. The difference in how the ball comes out from down grain and into grain was absolutely huge, and that's something I've not thought about enough. I knew that. I mean, I just sort of thought into grain, I've just got to guarantee strike a bit more. But the difference in the data coming from like launch angle and ball speed and spin rate is so different, just because the way the ball sat on the grass.
Yeah.
So it's just a case of choosing the right club to hit that launch window. Do you want to talk a bit more about that launch window?
Do you want to take a couple?
Yeah.
So yeah, just covering, trying not to view them as like lofts, trying to view them as I'm trying to hit a window.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Trying to live around somewhere close-ish to 30 and trying to avoid picking clubs on a standard pitch chip where into the grain lob wedge we're bringing the 38, 39, ball's going to carry nowhere.
Yeah. That's what we got here, 54 degree.
So 54 into the grain.
To that flag.
So this is normally sort of sub 30, so I reckon this will be hopefully coming up high 20s, low 30s. So say that must be what, 31?
32.
32.
5. So that's like, do you like 30? So just anywhere.
Oh yeah, I don't think you have to live. Some people's window would be lower, some people's window would be higher.
Yeah, that feels
But
nice.
if that's, say that was quite close to your standard lob wedge pitch flight.
Down the grain.
Yeah, but if you're then picking your lob wedge into the grain,
Well,
expecting that window and it comes out a lot higher,
Yeah.
you then think you've hit a bad shot or
see,
you've done some bad technique.
That's literally what I do. So this is now into 60. And I'll
Certainly when, like, say when the grass gets a bit fluffier, if the grass is super tight, the grain's not going to have such a difference.
Yeah, I'll just try and get it in a like there. So it's sat down a bit into grain. Is that alright?
Yeah, it's golden there.
But pretty much doing the same stuff.
Same motion, so
Straight away. With less speed, it pops up to 38 degrees.
that was 38. Like, I wouldn't
and
say
that
you
was
played a
with-
bad shot, you made a bad choice.
Yeah.
Say this shot, where it's a downhill, short of the flag, well, if that comes out too high and too soft, it's alright, the bank's all going to help me out there.
Yeah.
So it's like right there, if I'm in between clubs, I might go with my lobby. As long as it covers that fringe, the ground's going to do all the work for me. But earlier you said about like pitching over bunkers and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like if you don't read the lie really well,
Yeah.
the touch into the grain, it being a bit fluffy, it's like, right, that's going to ask for more speed, launch is going to go up, I'm going to get closer to a flop shot without trying to get closer to a flop shot.
Yeah.
And then you put in, think you need flop shot ingredients, suddenly the ball's going to be going nowhere,
Yeah.
flying 70% of the distance, and
So if this from here, if you had to land it on the bottom, it's just the same as that
yeah, long and slow.
low and slow, ball forward, hands back, hands
Yeah,
low.
further away from it, that's it. That was lovely. The toy around, we go like stupidly low, but like in your practice, enjoy. Right, I'm going to get further away. What's that going to create? The further away from it you get, the more chance you got the toe rolling over the hill. You know, if I shot off my knees, I'm going to get that toe rolling over that hill a lot.
Yeah.
Which that's a good ingredient for this shot. If you're trying to hit it bullet low, I'm trying to keep toe down, face strong.
Yeah.
I'm going to stand really close to it. But you don't want to do it all with technique. You want to do 60% of the work before you've hit the ball.
Yeah. Okay. So like.
So don't worry where it goes.
Going to the extreme.
Yeah. Lots of knee flex. If you want the ball to go high, you need to get low.
Yeah.
Right, long and slow. Don't worry where it goes. So that was like high and soft.
Yeah.
By the time you can then add in a little bit of club face, it's pretty easy to start hitting high soft shots. Whereas you go 100% club face.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Let's get some grub,
Get some lunch.
and then we'll do those minging, sat down, horrible ones where you've got to play with a bit of loft.
Yeah.
And then some bunker play if that's all right.
Perfect.
Sweet. Hope you're getting some good stuff here, guys. Right, lovely bit of carnation chicken and chips gone down.
Salad, mate. No, it wasn't salad.
Right, now we're going to get into the two areas really that I'm struggling with the most. Bunker play has been awful, but if you could imagine the stuff I was doing at the start, handle forward, quite aggressive.
Setup or
I mean,
technique,
nothing's conducive of good bunker play is it, that I was doing, and it's pretty much following the same lines, so it's probably not going to be that hard to fix a lot of setup stuff.
Definitely not.
But yeah, I think a lot of you, if you're also struggling with bunker play, you can definitely take the stuff that we're going to talk about into your game, because bunker play really is getting you set up in the right place and then just understanding what you're actually trying to do, isn't it?
Yeah, trying to almost do. I think because it's the only time we're not trying to hit the ball first bar out of the rough. It's quite different from the other short game setups and stuff, and so many people get the wrong impression of what you're trying to do out of the bunker. So yeah, if you get good fundamentals, it should should see quite a big difference.
Should all flow from there.
Hopefully.
Let's see.
What do you get a bit diggy?
I get very diggy, and when there's a lot of, I can get, yeah. That my low point,
like you can only almost hit a good shot if you get it reasonably
yeah,
close.
literally,
yeah.
That's pretty much it. And I find myself when there's a lot of sand, because I'm very diggy, I'm dead. Like no chance.
You want to hit that way, yeah?
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, got some good light there.
No, you're okay, thanks, Talia. No stress, thank you. Where you go? You're going at that right, not at that right hand flag, but as a line.
As the line,
yeah.
Just popping it out. I'll show you what I have been doing. That's as good as I could hit it. This sand's really nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it's alright, it's good. So just trying to hit sort of 10, 15 yard bunker shot.
Yeah. And that's like just getting closer to the ball and
a
bit hotter.
Yeah, you were stand into one.
Okay.
Let me stand there.
I've been going like super.
Oh, yeah, that is just so. The only way I can get height on that is having that face so far right. That toe's going to dig in. Yeah, I like. Well, I would go that like with similar heights, aren't we? If I was hitting to that flag, I would be stood like back there.
Okay, so let's mark it off.
4 inches, 5 inches further away than you.
Yeah.
Standing there, see how that feels.
Because I can't get to the ball.
Yeah, so if you think if you were trying to get that club head further away from you, you've got two options. If you went straight arms, the handle would be high.
Yeah.
Whereas I would try and visualise it. If you just pushed, say, on the butt of the grip, that club head's going to push out further away from you.
Like
Lots
this.
more knee flex.
Wow. What, here?
That's it. Yeah.
I'll just hit one.
Yeah, hit it from there.
Jesus.
You were way too tall. So we get the ball further forward. Just go narrower with the stance. Right, so say when you go narrower, you get taller. Try and take that away with a bit more knee flex.
Yeah.
Try and feel we get this. Because I say at the minute, your knees are like both bowed out. Try and bank that right knee in. That's it, much better.
There?
Yeah, less shaft lean. Better. The higher you want it to go, get everything lower, further away.
Yeah. Right, we're just going to move to the other bunker just so the lighting's better for you guys. The annoying thing is, rarely ever sunny in the UK, but when you're filming in towards the sun, the lighting just gets really shit, and I'm not sure you'll be able to see as well what we're trying to do. So I'm going to move up to the end bunker so it's like down the sun. It should be a lot better. There we go, look. Perfect.
You say before you were like that, where everything's like square.
Yeah.
Try and feel everything's right a little bit. If I'm going to get my knees down, it's not knees down over the toes. It's right, knees down a little bit forward.
Okay, yep.
Try and get your hands feeling super low, as opposed to say that. It's right, I want everything to get low.
Okay.
Almost. Yeah. If I was going to hit a pitch shot, I'm going to be stood up like that. Bunker shot is going to be right. I'm trying to get low and forward.
Okay.
I'd say the same thing with not trying to get that face pointing right. We're trying to add loft.
Right, yeah.
So it ball a bit further forward in the stance. Good. That's much better.
Like that.
That's
Do
it.
you think the grip needs to change a bit more?
No, that's all right.
It's fine.
Yeah, I'll just grip it like soft. So
Okay.
this is like a soft shot, slow speed.
And then up.
Better. But toy around with the higher and softer you want it to go,
Yeah.
do it right, setting up lower, get slightly further away. You'll get to a point where you've gone too far.
Like there. Does that look weird?
I'd say you wouldn't want to go any further away than that. So that was too shallow, club bounced.
Yeah.
But you got to toy around with, I prefer you to go too far and then work your way back than think you've gone a mile and you've not really gone anywhere. A little bit more weight on the balls of the feet, not on the heels so much. That's better.
Face down.
That was nice.
Yeah.
Then work through a few. Like I'd say that's a reasonably long bunker shot you're hitting there. So practice some. Right, I'm just trying to get it out over the fringe.
Okay.
Toy around a little bit with tempo. Sort of the longer, smoother, slower you can get it, the more questions you're asking if that club's going through the sand correctly. If that makes sense.
Yeah. So there.
A little bit more on the balls of the feet. Good. That was lovely.
Oh.
Much better.
Wow.
Because like there you rely on good mechanics.
Yeah.
Whereas at the minute you sometimes swing it so quick, you almost need bad mechanics. Because if that club goes through the sand correctly, you're going to hit it miles.
Yeah. So I'm using the sand to like slow it down almost like.
Yeah. Whereas I would try and, I don't know, I always picture like this is skimming a pebble across water.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Want the sole sliding through. It's more correct, giving correct delivery than if I just throw a pebble as hard as I can.
Yeah.
If I don't land it correctly, it's just going to nosedive in the water.
Yeah. There.
Yeah, weight on the balls of the feet. Much better. Good. And then I'll say if it's firm and compact, that's where I'd go to a little bit of shaft leaning forward. I don't mind a bit of that if it's just after it's rained or there's not much sand.
What then you'd go shaft forward?
Shaft leaning forward a little bit. But I would do that via everything moving forward. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
As opposed to me just chucking my hands forward, because then I'm just going to make the club shorter. Just increase the odds of thinning it. You're just working through the range here.
Yeah. Just,
What are they? They're gym brand? Or
yeah, gym brand.
I'm surprised it didn't snap me up, to be honest.
Started with, and then they got into gold 4 months ago. So
It is actually a nice kit, isn't it?
yeah, it's decent.
But so toy around when you practice. Say this is quite nice sand here.
Yeah.
But I would then toy around with getting the club to dig more, getting it to slide more. Like, so you're practicing for other sands.
Okay. So
say I would expect this to dig, and I'm going to chunk it, but we're going to play a shot for when it's washed out, there's not much sand, bunker's firm. So I'd set up normal, but I could get a little bit closer to it. And then as opposed to just pushing the hands forward, I'd feel sternum and left knee, that's it.
and then what? Same.
Yeah, same principle. You got to ask, so that was heavy and soft,
Yeah.
which
You expect that?
you expect out of that, but you're practicing for a firm, compact.
Okay.
You know when people say the bunkers are crap?
Yeah.
Well, they're not really, you just don't know how to play it.
Yeah.
But partly because people play the same course or practice at the same place, and they just practice for that type of sand, or
And then they go
if you've got a short game area, they just practice chipping to the 1 or 2 flags.
Yeah.
So like, use your imagination a bit, and
So-
say off this bunker is go off there and hit some downslope bunker shots away from the green. And if you've only got one bunker, you're not limited to what you can practice.
Yeah. That's another shot that I've had a couple times in tournaments where it's been at the Asprey, which is not, and they've just got like, I'm moaning about bunkers again, but no, this is actually bad bunker design. So like it's just a gradient slope from back to front with no lip, just sand
Right,
really
like a
thick all the way down.
Flat slope.
Just a flat slope,
Yeah.
just a shit bunker, right? So I hate that.
Yeah,
So from there, I like
plough it into it.
just plough it in. So how do you play that?
I'd probably maybe go to 54 if you haven't lost it. You got 2 options. You can either lean into the slope, play the club into it,
Yeah.
or slightly tilt back with the slope and probably a bit more of a drawl feel. Yep. Swing out to the right, get a little bit shallower.
Let's try that one.
The ball further forward.
And then draw it.
Lean back a bit more with the slope. That's it. So this is going to go sky high. Don't try and rip it. Try and deliver the club better.
Draw it.
Yeah, feel slightly more draw motion, slightly more rounded. Because that like chased up the slope quite nicely.
Come out really nice, to be fair.
But it's trying to build in. Like everything's going to encourage this ball to go high.
Yeah.
You can override it by leaning into the slope. But then your entry point's got to be really precise.
Yeah.
Because you're going to go from shallow to bloody deep really quickly.
Yeah.
Or here we're trying to ride up the slope.
Just like that.
That's it. Entered a little bit early.
Yeah. Terrible.
I'd probably stand a little bit further away.
Okay.
The further away you get from it, that's going to be more rounded.
Yeah.
If I ask you to stand a foot further back than that, in all likelihood you're going to start swinging it a bit more round your arse, a bit more into out.
I mean, it's better than it was. It's going like just out the bunker.
Let's stand there. See where that feels in relation to where I would. Yeah, still a bit close, I think.
Really?
Yeah, like I would try and get the ball as far forward as I can. It's just going to encourage me to chase up the slope.
Yeah.
But I think when you get it back a bit, that's where you get still a little bit too steep.
Okay.
I would be almost wanting this club just to see how you've gone in quite deep there.
Yeah.
I'd be trying to get it.
Just brushing it.
I almost don't want to hit what I would call the darker sand. So yeah, that bit's darker.
Yeah.
I'll be trying to swing up and still brush the lighter bits of the sand. As I play that club deeper in, I started getting through to the darker bit.
Yeah, yeah.
That was just as a little...
54?
Yeah. Give yourself another inch. That's it. Really feel you're swinging up that slope. That's better. When you practice, do lots of that. Like feel you're not losing any club head speed there.
Yeah.
So it's like, right, I don't need to thrash it. I just need to deliver it well.
Okay. Yeah.
That's better. Try a few with the lobby. Go on, we'll use that flag as a reference now.
What, this one?
Yep. The bill's far, a long way forward. That banked quite a bit actually, didn't it?
Hard to do this, isn't it?
It is. That's where I would probably be going down in loft. Because there you've got to swing it harder because you've got so much loft. It's bloody hard shot.
It's really hard.
That's good.
Oh. Yeah, okay.
Just getting the setup so the club chases up the slope, same as you would do on a down slope.
I was really then just getting the focus on, like, just trying to get a really shallow divot.
Yeah.
And that's literally it.
Because you can hit it a long way behind it as long as the club's not digging too much.
Yeah. That's the one.
That was
isn't it?
nice, yeah.
So
Chased
it's
it up.
really shallow divot up the hill, and that's really the only focus. And
Yeah,
the ball's just in the
a
middle
lot
of it.
more. I would class like a drawl feel, swinging up and out to the right.
Yeah.
A bit like you're going to pop it over your left shoulder.
Yeah. The stock one just...
Probably 4 inches further away from you, but then you've got to counteract some of that with getting the weight a bit more on the balls of the feet.
Yeah.
Far away and over it, I guess is how I would describe it. Whereas before you're almost really close and then trying to get miles away with the weight back on the heels.
Like there, yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's the sound you want.
Pop in now. And it's nice and long and smooth.
Yeah, and I would take some of that over into your shorter, semi-rough shots.
Okay.
Don't view it so much that we're cutting across it, we're creating loft.
Yeah, that's not
That's
the nicest
nice.
of lights either. It's probably going to be quite a long video, so if you've watched till the end, you're obviously a keen golfer and you've got a thirst for learning about the game, so I hope you've really got something from this. I definitely feel like the short game, I definitely feel a lot more confident with the short game, like the technique, and I feel like that's really just the start. So I'm going to go up and see Steve again. I'm going to do a lot more stuff on short game, because honestly, you think short game's simple, but you can go so deep with short game, lies and conditions, ground conditions, how to play different shots. So yeah, I feel that's just the start, but we'll be back soon with more. In fact, I'm just at a tournament now, so tournament vlogs coming next.